Welcome in to episode 13 of our Let's Play Civilization 7 series here at the Match Boost YouTube channel. We are in turn 117, late in the Antiquity Age, playing as the Axumites. We are the leader Amina, and we are focused on growth. If you need to catch up on any of the episodes leading up until now, down in the description below is a link to episode 1 of the series. You can watch all of the action leading up to what is going to be a frantic finish based on some calculations I've made. Let's jump into the game and see where Civilization 7 takes us today. Here we are in our capital city of Axum, growing in 5 turns. That feels pretty good, but here is the conundrum we have run into. Now, I'll caveat this with patch 1.2.3 that came out several weeks ago, you can have now kind of like a 10-turn turn timer, 20-turn turn timer that allows you to have a little bit more kind of control or knowledge, really, of when an age is going to end. We're not on that. We haven't selected that as one of the features. It's an option you have to toggle on, basically. So we are sitting at a place where when we reach that 200 age progress, that will be our final turn. Now, as it turns out, it does actually, the game will give you a final turn. We figured this out the other day in a multiplayer game I was playing over the weekend, is when you hit that final age progress, the new update, and I don't know if this was talked about too much, but the new update does not allow the game to end on that turn anymore. You will always get one more turn now. Clever. And so you'll actually cap out, even if your age score, your age progress score goes over 200, it will stop at 199. And then the next turn will be the 200th age progress. So it looks like what has to happen now is a turn has to be the final number to get you to 200. And then that turn is the final turn. So there's a couple things to keep in mind with that. On that turn, on your final turn, and it does indicate as such that it is your final turn, you cannot, anything you are building, if there is a 1 turn left on that build, it will not finish. That build would not finish until the start of the next turn, and that start of the next turn never happens in that age. So nothing will actually complete on that turn. So say you're building a spearman that has 1 turn left on it. If this was the final turn of the age, if we were at that 200 age progress, we would never see that spearman complete because everything would reset with the exploration age. So that means that you kind of have to run some math, because we're sitting at 172 of 200. That would indicate that we have 28 turns left, which is a pretty good number. I like that number. But we also have to think about the fact that the ancient wonders of the world, we're at 10 of 20, so there's 10 possible age progress here. Now, we have full control over that. No one else is going to get that one. We're sitting at 5 of 7 behind my head there. And everyone else is at least at 3 of 7. So we have control over the ancient wonders of the world being finished or not. So we'll probably hold off on that. Maybe even if we're building a 7th wonder, we might even hold it to 1 turn and then just finish it like the turn that we know the age is about to progress over. So the turn prior to the age progressing over, because we want to be able to finish it. Pax is the one we have to be concerned about. Right now, we are only at 5 of 20 on the age progress for Pax. Napoleon is the one who's leading the charge here. He is 1 settlement away from hitting that 10 of 20. So we can almost assume that's going to happen. So our 28 turns that we have goes down to just 23 turns. And then if he also hits the 12, it would go down by another 10, leaving us with only 13 turns possibly remaining. That's very soon. And so we want to start thinking about the fact that that could happen. Now, I don't think actually that Napoleon will hit that 12, but he certainly could. He's definitely going to hit the 9. And it all depends on whether he goes to war and if he takes cities in those wars, right? That is the biggest question. If we look right now, he is hostile with Himiko, and he's neutral with us. I don't foresee that he will go up and be able to take any of Himiko's cities. The problem is, as we've seen already, is that Himiko literally gave him a city in a war that never actually threatened her settlements. And so if he declares war again, will she just give him another city, even though he's not even threatening to potentially take, if he's not even up here? That could happen very easily. So that might become problematic for us. Our whole idea to war Himiko has gone completely by the wayside, just based off the way the game has gone. Maybe we war her in the next era when we play the Songhai. She's got 2 cities that are settled off of navigable rivers, so they'd be super handy for us. We could potentially do that. She's got a little city called Kusa up here, so if we took both of these and left her with Kusa, then it wouldn't progress the age in the next era. So, but for this time, we're not going to be doing that. So let us progress our game. We have 301 gold, which we will probably spend here at some point. The Kalo is still under the effect of the plague. They have 2 more turns of unrest in Kalo. And Axum has built literally everything and is just kind of crunching out some additional army units for us as we go. We did figure out another thing in the multiplayer game I was playing is that siege weapons do transition with you apparently into the next age. So that is actually not a setting apparently that you have to set. Siege weapons will just move with you into the next age. Like you will get catapults in the next age. It's not part of the whole redistribution of armies setting that you can select for the next era. So that's an interesting thing to note, is that there are some kind of subtle changes that have occurred even if you're not currently in a game that was created on patch 1.2.3. Some things have kind of transitioned over, and siege units are one of those things. You can keep siege units heading into the next age. There may be a limit on that, so don't trust me on any numbers or anything like that, but that's just something to note. All right, we're pushing growth everywhere we can. We are also, what we want to do is start saving our influence and start saving our gold, because we want to get as close as we can to those 2 cutoff points. You can carry over 3,000 gold and 500 influence. And we want to carry over particularly that influence, remember, because we're going to use it to try to get ahead on suzerainities in the next age when all of those new city-states spawn in. We're not very close to that currently, so we want to keep saving. We're only making 10 per turn, so we're probably just going to want to save for the rest of the time and not necessarily invest in any of our relationship pieces or any of that. We're probably not going to do any endeavors the rest of the way, because I'd rather save and have that to spend at the very beginning of the next age. Let's hit that next turn button, and we'll see how things go. It's also entirely possible that someone declares war on us and changes all of our plans, you know? All right, we now have access to Colossus, which is something that we really did want to build. And we have Navigation 2, which we were going for to get this codex, to get that +1 food on food buildings, to try to push our growth. And obviously the naval combat strength is not huge, although we do have dhows in the water, so maybe that could make a difference if someone declares war on us. Okay. That +1 food on food buildings feels really good, though. That should hopefully boost our growth in a couple of our cities. And let's see, we are 1 turn from Amphitheater here. So instead of immediately placing Colossus, which this might be a mistake, but instead of immediately placing Colossus and trying to build it right away, I'm going to go ahead and let this Amphitheater finish. That's quite a bit of culture sitting on the line that we could just get out in the 1 turn. We have another codex in place. So that is 4 codexes. We're not progressing the science one nearly fast enough, so we need to probably focus on trying to get those in. Himiko has built Emile Bell, so that one is off the table. Another civilization that settled the town nearby. Himiko, what did you settle? Ah, Himiko has settled another town. That one is lovely, and I don't mind if she keeps that one either. So now she can keep 2 of her towns. So that works for me. Kansa is a whole nother situation, though, so we'll see that. Ada Lovelace, neutral to unfriendly. And that's one thing we do have to watch for. Ada is currently has currently denounced us, right? If she ends up declaring war, Shamron will fall. I am not going to come defend Shamron. That's kind of a pain, because if she takes it and burns it or whatever she does to it, it won't respawn in the next age, right? So, but I don't think I have the capability to defend Shamron. It's right on her border. She's just gonna feed troops into it. So if she declares war on me, I think Shamron just is gonna go Taruga's got enough ships and troops, I think they could defend themselves, and we could probably come in and help them as well. So that's something that we will think about. Oh, before I forget, I did want to... This commander needs just one singular experience in order to get the next promotion, which we could then move faster across the map. So I am gonna shift my commander over here. We'll go ahead and deploy some of our units here and run some attacks. I wonder if we could do it with, let's see what the damage is from an archer. Okay, so we just need to, well, there we go. That's all we needed. We might as well just deploy the second archer. And we'll just finish the job, grab a little more XP. But this will allow us to move faster across the land. So we could go to we should probably go to logistics and try to get to this extra unit one. But this allows us to move at +1 movement speed and ignore terrain restrictions when packed. And we're trying to get somewhere in a hurry right now. We're trying to get to the south of the map, trying to get more experience. So I'm going to take maneuver, because that's another really good one to have just from a movement standpoint. Plus, when we get into the next age, we want to be able to move very quickly in case we send this guy over to the New World or something like that. So I like this particular promotion. So we'll go ahead and grab that one right away. And then we'll pack everyone up on the next turn and start scooting them all the way down to here, right? But that's why I want that promotion, was to get that speed moving a little bit quicker. So let's go ahead and shift our army down to here. We'll pack these guys on the next turn and then ship ourselves out in this direction. We have a growth in a town, and that is exciting news for us. We are going to jump over to this tile right here. Is a lovely tile. It's also adjacent to a Hawilts. So we're going to try to grab these 3 rivers, right? So we get some nice adjacency between all these guys right here. So we'll go ahead and grab this one first because it looks like the nicest of them. A little bit of happiness on that one because it's adjacent to mountains, I assume. There's kind of a hidden appeal mechanic that creates this happiness. Sometimes that happiness, as we've noticed, it disappears. And I think it's because you change some buildings you put down, change that appeal, but I'm not sure if anyone actually really fully understands the rhyme or reason behind that. Now, we'll of course turn that immediately into a Hawilt and get the additional culture on both of these tiles, which is very nice. We need to grab a new tech, and I think we've reached the point where any tech that gets us a codex is really the most important thing to get. Now, the problem is, of course, we do not have access to the academy yet, and the academy would be a very nice building to have the base yields from heading into the next era. So the question is, do I spend 15 turns trying to get access to the academy on the off chance that I could build a couple of them at the very end? Do I go after the arena so I get some base yield happiness at the end? Or do we just go back here and grab as many codexes as possible in order to try to finish up the science part of the tree? It's very difficult actually to choose. I think I do want access to the academy, but that might sink us in the long run potentially. We also have important choices regarding our civics to start making. We pushed all the way through to the Colossus. The other wonder you could go after is Nalanda, because it also gets you an attribute point, which would be pretty nice. Angkor Wat's already been built. Monk's Mount has already been built, so we're not worried about wonders over here. This one also gets you a codex, though. So there's a codex sitting here at literacy. That would be very handy for us. So I think I'm going to go after literacy first, give us the option of possibly building Nalanda as our 7th wonder. And then we need to finish these as well. So that will be our next goal, is we need to get both of these done because we want to have these particular abilities for the next era. And actually in the comments, let me know if you don't research if you don't complete all of your civics in your specific tree, in your civ tree, do you get access to these legacy cards? Right? So like, for example, Throne of My Fathers. Would we get access to the Throne of My Fathers policy card if we don't research it in this era? I don't know the answer to that question. If you do, let me know. I think we already searched here, I believe. So we found out that there's an easy cross point. So what this scout is actually going to do, we're going to keep sending him up here to explore a little bit. But then we're probably going to return him to right here. and then have him cross the ocean in this direction as quickly as possible in the next age. So that's going to kind of be the plan, because that's a very fast cross, and then we can start exploring into the New World as quickly as possible. So we'll probably get him back here to heal up at some point in the near future. We probably won't explore all the way up there. We've got a Dhow that's moving in that direction actually as well, so something to think about. All right, here is a spearman. We're going to have that reinforced into this army. Just send him over there. We're also building an archer for that army as well to kind of fill it out. So we'll continue progressing towards that. This scout is heading back home, right? Let's get him over here. I'm going to move him. I could just path him up, but I'm a little concerned about a war declaration, and I don't want him to accidentally get killed and thus lose another unit. This Dhow also actually probably will cross at the other side. Oh, if he, you know what? But that's not gonna, because we don't have the setting for the redistributed armies, or I guess armies not redistributing, the 1.2.3 update where you can set that. I think this Dhow is just going to disappear. I don't think he'll carry over. We're gonna get a ship. The only ship we're gonna get, I'm pretty sure, is just gonna come out of Calo or Axum at their port on the other side. So I think this guy is just doing some exploration, and then I don't think we'll see that particular Dhow again, unfortunately. Okay, Huatu is 3 on a lighthouse. I think we're good on gold. We don't have to spend on this turn. Let's go one more, and then we'll get Colossus down. See if anyone else is building Colossus. Oh, another wonder got built. Colosseum is now built, and Emil Bell. Wait, I thought she built Emil Bell. Oh, it did. Okay, it finished. It finished on that turn. I see. She won. Did she one turn that? Or did it just show up on my map? That was weird. Okay. Colosseum also now built. Colosseum is a pretty nice wonder. We could have gone after that. My diplomatic aid with Ada Lovelace has completed. Calo is free from plague. That's a big deal, because we're going to come in now and purchase in our Hawilts that we can, because why not? We need to get more Hawilts in there, and that will actually, I don't know if they even grow when they're under plague settings, which is kind of sucky. I have to hope that Axum does not get hit by plague, because if that impacts their growth, it would just be very, very much a bummer. All right, Napoleon has completed a milestone for Ancient Wonders of the World, but that's fine. It's the same one that we're on, so we're not too worried about that. And Himiko's relationship with us changed, for whatever that's worth. Okay, Saba is reaching and stretching for up here. We want to grab probably the most food we can, which is up here. And then again, just adjacency is what we're going for. So let's go this river tile. And then immediately we'll buy in that Hawilt. Right, get that adjacency. Pretty much be doing that every time now, just making sure we get those Hawilts in. Okay, Axum is ready to build, and that actually is somewhat problematic for us. Let's check our armies. So this army is not full. We're supporting this army with 2 more, but we can get 2 more units. Okay, so Axum is just going to continue building units. So what do we have? We have 2 of each. Okay, perfect. Well, look, here's the deal. If I'm really tempted to grab like a ballista, but maybe we should grab a couple of chariots. Maybe we should grab some cavalry units. Because we don't have any. So let's go ahead and let's do 2 cavalry units. I'll go chariot. Let's go chariot. That way we have a fully balanced army here. So we'll have 2 spearmen, 2 melee, basically 2 ranged in the archers, and then 2 cav. And that will fill out this army quite nicely. And honestly, the carryover, right, is you get 6 units plus anything you can stack into your armies. So we can actually build quite a few more units out of Axum. And keep most of those, because we can just start, rather than them being in a commander, they can be stationed in a city or in a defensible location somewhere as we go. This commander also, if he gets that extra promotion, will be able to house more units. So Axum basically is now just producing units. That's going to be kind of what it does. The other thing we could think about doing, and this might actually be a really good idea, is we could start using Axum, and this is something to think about at the end of Ages, to do research initiatives or cultural festivals. And either of these basically does takes 25% of your production and generates it as culture per turn, basically. So it's a pretty potent way to kind of boost things. Let's at least get a few units out before we think about switching to that. But then we might want to think about it just to, and even honestly, the tech one might be the more useful because that would actually get us to academies faster and maybe some of those codexes. So let's do these 2 chariots, and I think we're actually going to switch Axum into the tech project so that we can try to get to more of those codexes. That actually feels like a really good plan. All right. Oh, I cannot go any further because the scout is in my way. Sir, please move. I'm going to just sit right here until you get out of my way. All right, this guy's going to pack up the army. Let's go ahead and we'll just use the pack mechanism. We'll just grab them all, and we are off and on our way. Now, Ada doesn't like us. We're going to go right next to her. We're going to cross right next to her and see what happens. Shamron is also currently plagued. So maybe that plague will spread down into her territory. That'd be nice. But look at this. Look at these armies she's got. She's got some forces to be reckoned with down here. Would kind of be like not a joking matter if she declares war on us, which is highly likely towards the end here. Okay, our settler's in place. Here's what we're going to do with this settler. I'm going to be skipping its turn every time to remind me that it's there. But what we're going to do is when we have 8 turns till our next celebration, we're at 6 of 6 on our our settlement cap. If we settle it now, we would impact our overall happiness, and it would be further until we get to our next social policy celebration, right? Our next social policy. So what I am going to do is we're just going to sit here, and we will put this settlement in as soon as we hit our next celebration. Why? Because the likelihood of hitting yet another celebration after that one in this age yet is basically impossible. And so the only reason we would want to keep our happiness up is for other potential stability reasons, but we don't have any stability issues. So we can go and settle this, but not until after these 8 turns have passed and we get our celebration triggered, right? So once our celebration is triggered, that's arguably going to be our final celebration. And so we can then just go over our cap and have that impact on happiness, not really have much of an effect on us, right? All right. Let's get this archer over here as well. We could just be reinforcing these guys in, but it's fine. They'll make it there eventually. The scout is still headed home. There they are. So Napoleon finally decided to. That's I believe where that or somewhere right in here, right, was where that discovery was that was untouched for so long. Napoleon must have finally decided to kill that scout that was standing on it. So we missed out on that. That's okay. We'll just get this Dow exploring a little bit more of the ocean for us over here. Could have popped up in here actually. Oh, you know what? There's actually people to fight in here if we wanted to. We could actually have this Dow support our little fight. It's not going to get us any experience, which is kind of the whole point of it, but I feel like that might be useful at some point. Would you want to think about spending gold to... Oh, Kalo? Hold on. Kalo, what are you building? You're building a Hawilt? No, we don't build Hawilts. We purchase Hawilts. Didn't we buy that? Oh my gosh, I forgot to press the buy button. I pressed the build button. Fantastic. I never switched to purchase. That's because I'm so used to being in towns. It's fine. That was a good thing that we noticed, and... Why did we not have a wonder on here? Did somebody already build it? Oh, phew, there it is. It wasn't there! Oh, we were on purchase. Oh my gosh, wow. You know what? It's been a long week. We were on yeah, you can't purchase wonders. You have to produce them. We had switched, and then we didn't switch back. Let's get Colossus in. It's an 8-turn build. We know exactly where we want it. We want it right here, right adjacent to as many of our districts as possible in the water. That is an 8-turn build, and we will hope that no one else is building it. We'll see, because it'll inform us if anyone we know is building it. Somebody could definitely be building it. Most of the wonders that are even past that on the tech tree are already built. So there's no reason why someone would not be building this. So 8 turns, and we'll see what happens. There's our Dow headed up. I think we're going to try to implement maybe another trade. Man, I don't even know if we want to implement another trade. Why do we have open borders with him as well? Well, look, if we have open borders, but I don't have trade capacity with him, right? If we look at our trade lens, Wasset is the only trade place that I have, and I can't get to Wasset, although that would be a lot of resources. We should spend our gold. You know what? Gold? How much does a merchant cost? 400? That's probably worth it, right? To get access to all of these resources for the next little bit. Probably should have done that right at the beginning. Let's do that. I'm gonna spend the gold on a merchant. We're gonna go trade with Wasset and hope he doesn't declare war on us. At least we get access to those resources for a little bit. So then the real question becomes is, do we want to improve trade relations? That costs us 60, that's 6 turns. I don't think I do. I don't think I want to actually run the trade route. This Dow can just become an explorer now, even though he has a trade route available. We're not going to use that trade route, I think is what we're saying, right? All right, well, we spent a bunch of gold, so we need to be watching that, obviously. Uh-oh, river flood. Okay, not anywhere near us. Great library. Somebody has completed another great library one, so codexes are flying off the shelf at this point. Okay, this guy moved, so we can jump up here. We'll be able to use our search feature, and then we'll be stuck, right? So I can't go any further north because of borders, so then we're just going to come sit right here so that we have that quick cross when we... Oh, wait, except the scout's not going to stay. What am I talking about? I'm already thinking in the terms of patch 1.2.3, and I'm like, gosh, I would love to keep my scout right there. That scout's going to reset. Scouts don't carry over in the patch that we're on, so I don't know why I was thinking that, but I was apparently. So, all right, let's get him into Wasset's territory. We'll just implement a trade. This chariot can go join this army. Got another chariot coming out. This guy's just gonna hang out. And our commander is... What's our fastest route down? It's through here, probably. That's gonna be dicey. Let's just get on river and hope that we don't get a war declared on us. We're gonna cross paths with our scout, who again, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, does not need to go back home, because there is absolutely no point in that. So we'll actually redeflect him around. Lots of units all over the place on this map. Ooh, look at this. What is going on over here? What? What is this? What is going on up top right here? Is there an island over here that we could actually put something on? Why would there be so much coastal water here? We're about to find out, I guess. Oahu has built their lighthouse, which gets us access to our science buildings. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to, I'm gonna purchase the library because it's only 256. So the library is gonna go in right here at 256. Then we are going to build the villa right here, and then we'll buy the garden in up here, I think. But the villa is expensive, so we'll build in the villa up here, and then we'll slap in our market and our garden up here. Our garden first, and we might even buy in the garden to get that growth up a little bit faster. We might as well put these dyes, I guess, in Saba. This guy is here. We're gonna run the search feature just to get a little extra information about what's going on over here. This guy is still hanging out. And this army can do nothing but walk right here. This scout actually can now kind of come with the army. Oh, that's going to be a pain. Can we walk through that? Maybe. All right, and then this Dow, I think we decided was going to try to do just a little bit of exploration. Still, right? If we keep along the coast, we'll at least see just a little bit extra. Might as well just get that extra. What is going on over here? I do not know. What is that? Right there. That looks like a gap in the map. Looks like there's land underneath this water. What are we playing? Endless Legend 2? All right, we have 4 gold, 124 influence. I think we're good on spending things right now. We're kind of saving to invest in, well, Hawilts, and then also anytime Oahu gets an additional building we can build in, we're kind of going in that direction, right? So we'll keep progressing in that way. Another growth. Ada Lovelace has changed our relationship. 57, negative 57 now, which is... I get the feeling that before this thing is over, she's declaring war. I don't know if she'll go anywhere beyond taking Shamron, because she's got to get through Tyre to even to get to our land. We could use it to up one of our commanders, though. This commander could come down and get some serious experience, although she's got really high-level units that I cannot particularly... I mean, I match them right now, but if she gets to level 3 units, then we might have some problems, right? Axum has grown. Okay, what's our best Axum? It's going to be whatever. This one probably right here gets us double adjacency on these. Yeah, so it's going to be this one right here. And then it's this one because it's a river, and then probably this one. So it's these three that we want to try to get. I have 15 turns to growth though, so we better take the one with the best adjacency. Man, we might not get to this one right here. We almost need one of our settlements to get infected and produce a migrant for us, you know? I want the double adjacency, right? Because this single, I mean, that tile is great. Actually, this might help us grow faster. If we grab this and grow faster, then we could get this one. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, yes, I'm going to take this one, and then we'll try to grow to, because this is worth the 3 food, right? Let's get the 3 food. Let's buy the Hawilt. That makes that tile even better. And this will attempt to 13. That went down to 13 turns. So we saved ourselves 2 turns there. That might be our final growth that we get out of Axum, which is kind of a shame because it's going to leave us with at least one that we really kind of wanted to have. But that's okay. There's a couple more. We have places that we want to put caravanasseries when we get to Songhai, because we pretty much know we're going to do that, right? Okay, up here, we want adjacency, right? So we just take these woods. That gets us adjacency with these guys. So let's go ahead and grab that. And then immediately purchase in a Hawilt. Did I buy that Hawilt in Axum? Yes, I did. Sometimes I'm worried that I'm not on the purchase screen, you know? Because that's been a consistent issue. I don't know why I'm repositioning this guy. He can't do what I assume that he's going to do. Join this army. You, go over here, join this army. You, come over here. You can join that army on the next turn. All right. Oh, you know what? I did. I stand corrected. I had, in fact, not purchased it. I had put it into my queue. So there you go. All right, let's go to a research initiative. I think that's our best bet here. I know we could get more units, and maybe we will, but you can see immediately that dropped our mathematics to 11, and I think getting some of those codices out is going to be kind of our best bet to get ourselves started in the next era the best way we can. So let's sit with that. All right, our army is moving. We're going to try to go grab additional experience. Do we actually want to kill them, though? That's the question. Or do we leave them as a potential investment? You know, we've got a lot. If Shamron... Here's the deal. If Shamron lives and there is no war declaration, I think that we kill these guys for the experience on our commander. If Shamron does not live, then maybe we leave them up as a potential additional option to invest in the next era from a city-state standpoint. I feel like that maybe makes sense, yeah? Keep this guy moving up here. This Dow has, we already went to here, right? But man, I'm really intrigued as to what happened right here. We also want to do this, right? We have a little inlet right here. Let's find out what's going on over here, because that could be a nice path to the New World. So let's go ahead and find out more about that as well. All right, I think we're good. 5 turns on Colossus. We haven't gotten any indicators that anyone else is building it yet. So hopefully no one else is, unless it could be someone on the far end of the land, right? Saba has grown again. Now we could take the llamas, but I'd rather get another Hawil down. So let's grab this one for adjacency, and then probably this one for adjacency as well. Grab Hawilts, increasing our culture as we go. This guy's gonna, I guess he's just gonna sit right here. We have a merchant. Oh, we could get a trade route to Ada? I didn't realize we could trade with Ada. Palladium. We could send a person down there. It gets us stuff. Yeah, let's trade with Wasset. Let's do that. That's a bunch of resources. We can push our science by a substantial amount. Now we have decisions to make. We could pull the llamas pretty easily, because that's not food. What else could we pull? We could pull something that's gold related, right? So we could pull the rubies. So let's get both the incense in. And you know what I'm actually debating? I wonder if the fish that are here in Kalo should be in Axum. We could pull another rubies out. We're still making a ton of gold. We're not impacting ourselves like horribly badly. And then I'd like to get production back in Colo then. Oh wait, where did we pull these dates from? These dates are handy. I'm gonna throw the dates into Axum. We are reducing our gold intake by a bit here, but we'll get some of it back. Okay, and then Colo can grab the production. And then we can throw, Ohatu can take the rest of this, right? Well, I'd like to get, so let's do this and this. Yeah, that maximizes our food. We're losing a bunch of gold per turn off of this, but I think that's actually where I'd like to sit. Okay. That sucks, but I think it's where we need to be. I think it's where we need to be. All right, this army is now actually, no, they're not full yet. Oh, there's another chariot coming. Okay, this chariot's still coming. Okay, so they are full. I feel better now. I thought they weren't going to be. Let's get these guys down here. How far? Let's push to. Oh, that's negative. I should have gone slower. We should have gone slower. Now we're in trouble because we're going to get attacked once by this guy in a completely defenseless position because we cannot deploy any of our units out because we've lost all of our movement. So that's unfortunate. He should survive a turn. If he doesn't, then that was the most horrible move that I've probably just made in the game. Be unfortunate if that ends up being a very, very bad move, but we'll find out. This guy I'm going to send... I don't like to know what's here, but I really want to know what's out here. I'm going to send him this way. We won't... There we go. He popped up and saw... Okay, there is stuff up there, eh? Uh-oh. Oh, he got stuck. That's unfortunate. Still going to try to get there anyway. That's fine. Okay, 4 turns left on Colossus. We got a research initiative going. We got growth in 12 at Axum, which should get us 1 more, at least. Nice, we've got 2. Kaloa's got a growth coming. Lalibella's 3 turns away, 2 turns from Atara, 11 for Ohatu, but less important in Ohatu now. They've kind of got the majority of their pieces in. In fact, I don't even know. We might actually have all of our Hawilts in here. I don't think we're putting in very many more in Ohatu probably, so that's probably okay. Oh, we were gonna buy in. No, we're building in the villa, then we're gonna buy in the gardens, right? Yeah, okay. So we'll hit the next turn button. We are prioritizing growth by a ton.
God,
there's the attack that happened.
Splendid irony.
All right, we have access to Nalanda if we want to try to build it. We got another piece here, and we also got that library in Ohatu, so we can get more slotted if we get them. So the objective is to get more. 10% progress before the age will complete. That will also push us to 90, which means the final policy card and increase in our crisis has happened. Frederick has completed the Great Library. Our army commander was attacked and didn't take too much damage, so we now get to deploy all of our units out. Let's go ahead and wipe that guy out because we don't have move and attack on this commander yet, right? No, sorry, we do. I think we do on this commander. So we can deploy our spearmen onto this tile. We can actually back our archers, can deploy back a little bit. And our other spearmen can deploy here. We can then take shots with our archers. And again, it's all about experience. So we're not going to use the ability. We're just going to shoot away. All right. And notice all of our units are a little bit damaged because the army commander got attacked, right? So the army commander takes the brunt of the damage, but we get a little bit of damage on everybody, which is unfortunate because we can't heal. So we'll go ahead and run this attack. Although that opens this unit up to being attacked by the galley, which is a little bit unfortunate. We could just fortify and let this guy run into us. You know what? Let's just do that. Although I don't want him to heal, right? Because we took the card where we get damaged if we heal. So actually, I need to take the spearman. I'm going to shimmy him around somewhere. Or we just flip these 2 guys. Watch this. If we flip these 2 guys, then we'll have used their movement. And they won't try to heal. Although if we do Fortify burns. Fortify should burn their movement, so that shouldn't be a problem. And we'll use this guy to come down here and try to get some exploration done. The Hollow Land! Villages sit empty and lifeless. Grass pokes out of thatched roofs and a tree sprouts from a threshold. with only a glint of bone tangled in the roofs to show that once this was a place of human habitation. A few travelers pass by without a glance. These sights are commonplace. Continue the crisis. Our plagues are going to grow stronger. We have to pick a new policy card here when we get there. Calo has grown, and we would like Hawilts with adjacency. Now, this is a nice Hawilt, but that also is a spot where we are going to put our mills. So I'm not actually going to take that spot. The mills are going to go there. We already know that because that's our river spot. So we might as well grab down here or over here. Actually, right here is a nice adjacency because we get adjacency here. So that's a nice little adjacency spot. Although we might also want to put our happiness buildings might actually want to go there as well. So maybe we just stick with right here because there's adjacency here, right, for our happiness buildings. And they're not going to get adjacency from anything else. So that might be where our happiness buildings end up going. So I'm going to go ahead and let's grab, we'll grab this one then because it's got more food on it. We'll purchase or have three. Okay. 3 turns to Colossus there. Batara has grown, and we're going to grab our next best. This one right here with the food. Grab that. Throw down our Hawilts. Look at the bonuses now. Oh! 7 turns to growth. So we should get at least that one, I think. All right, now we get our civics option, and again, this is going to be tricky. We have access to Nalanda. It's not built. Yeah, I think we're just going to go to our Axumite ones, right? Let's go this one. That's going to get us some adjacency for our Hawilts. And we got to pick our last crisis policy. Okay, we still have healing cults, which get us minus 10 gold on altars. I don't like that. We got a lot of altars. Minus 25% growth in cities. We're obviously not going to take that because we want maximal growth in all of our cities. And the last one is plus 5 happiness in infected settlements with a commander. Minus 5 happiness in settlements with no altar. That is actually pretty easy for us to take that one, right? Because we have all of our cities. All of our settlements have an altar for the growth. So this actually is only a positive for us. We just get plus 5 happiness in the one settlement that has a commander. So that's easy, right? Our happiness shouldn't change. We're at 62 and we stay at 62. So easy choice. Plus we're getting that food as well. Okay, we have to make sure this guy doesn't try to heal or he will die. But also we can't like see anything with him. There's no point in that. So, well, we can bring him around to here and then do the search function to see more of the land, I guess. That guy's just hanging out still because we are 3 turns from a celebration. Ooh, which is going to get us that 20% food for 10 turns, which will actually be kind of decent. Okay, this guy can actually come back now because he's not going to get to go any further either. I think we're good here. We got 1 turn into Huatu and then we got spending to do there. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. All right, this army is now a full army. They're all going to redistribute, which, again, one of my favorite things about patch 1.2.3 is that if you have that selection where your armies do not redistribute out, they would just stay together as like an army, and I want to like pull them in from all my cities like it does when it redistributes. A really fantastic change from Firaxis on that, in my opinion. Okay, Hitchiti grew pretty quickly. Look at this. They got a pot cop down in this mountain. Look at that. That is a beautiful pot cop. I feel like that's really nice. I don't remember what the stats are on those, but the numbers look good on that. Lollibella has grown. That is their first growth in a little bit. Adjacency-wise, this would be our best bet. But as we recall, when we turn this into a city, we're going to need to get down into here for some... Oh, man, we have so many decisions to make in this one. We put the wrong Hawilts down here because we're going to have to come this way with our urbans to get access to these adjacencies. I'm going to need right here, here, and here. All 3 of those need to be urbans because I need my production buildings, my science buildings, and my mills have to come down this way. So these Hawilts are going to get destroyed, which is like just such a shame. I should do that now. Oh, can I? I should destroy them now and replace them. I can't. I have nothing to put down. Unless I switch this town to an urban center and then put things down using gold. And then I can redistribute my Hawilts to tiles that actually will get to keep their Hawilts for when we get Serpent's Mound. I think we have to do that actually. We're actually gonna I'm gonna buy in buildings on both of these spots. I'm gonna buy in a production building and a science building. We're gonna redistribute these Hawilts to the other side. So we can have a Hawilts here, 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 and here. That blocks us from having a good happiness adjacency, but we can make a determination on whether we have to have that or not later. So the reason we're doing this, we're gonna get back to this 50%, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick urban center, 100% gold and happiness towards building maintenance in this town. Can't purchase additional buildings in this town. So we're gonna choose urban center. Okay, and then we're gonna redistribute these Hawilts. So we're gonna come back into the city, and now because it's an urban center, we can buy the first level of all of our buildings, right? So we're gonna buy our first level for these buildings here and through, and actually we can even, this allows us to grab a garden and potentially push our food as well. So we're basically gonna spend all of our gold here, I think. So we're gonna take the barracks, we'll put the barracks right here. It's got double adjacency. We'll take our library and put it right here for double adjacency. And then that frees this up for our mills. And it will redistribute our population out, which is the more important part, right? So when we put this here, it takes away the Hawilt that we were gonna lose, and now we'll get to put the Hawilt back down somewhere else when we resettle our population. So we're gonna do that with this one as well. And that actually fixes this up for its city placement. And we should actually buy the gardens as well. Right here, probably where the brickyard is, just so we don't take up any extra tiles. Because we don't have any adjacency for the garden, so this will just be for putting a garden in, just for the sake of having one. We can always overbuild the garden, right? So it doesn't particularly matter. So we'll just do it. Let's get the extra food. We should have probably done this a while ago to get that extra food, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, and so now we have a ton of growth. We should be able to grow to all of these. Well, 1, 2, and we had a third, right? So let's go all the food ones. So 1, 2, and then a third for all the food. And then we will immediately, we won't be able to put them all in, I don't think. The Lollibella goes to the Hawilts, and we go 1, 2 for the adjacency. And we can do the third, we have just enough to do the third. This one actually becomes viable now too, so we can actually put that in as well. Perfect. That worked out very well. And then, in order to maintain growth here, we switch it off of urban center and back to growing town. And that's actually a trick that's very helpful towards the end of the age if you want to continue growing. So now we're growing in 9 because we got way more food in. Our city is way more effective. We should have done that a long time ago. As soon as we realized that we were going to need those Hawilts, we needed to have redistributed them out. That was a great move. I should have done it earlier, but that move I think is like a saving move for Lollibella's value. I think that was very important. That feels very good. I actually think about doing that in our other cities. If we have any other cities that have potential spots where we could redistribute out to like more Hawilts. But that city was the most important probably for us to do that in, right? Okay, Axum is, I think we're just gonna go, we could build Nalanda, but again, we don't have a spot for it. So if we're gonna build Nalanda, it has to be in one of our other cities. And we wanna just get it to the 1 turn and then hold on it. So I'm just gonna go research initiative again. We're gonna push research. Ohatu is ready to build something. Oh, we were gonna buy in our garden here. We could just 3-turn build it. Let's just 3-turn build it. Nah, we could buy it in like, what, 2 turns? So let's build the amphitheater instead, because that takes a 6-turn build. Let's get that amphitheater in. And then we'll kind of roll from there. Okay, this guy's hanging out. Okay, this army is now like ready to move out. We have to make sure no one tries to heal, right? So the scout can keep moving. We'll do like a search action when we get over here, maybe. Or we can actually do one probably right here, but okay, let's move our army out. In fact, we just want to pack. We're just gonna pack. Let's just pack. And then we'll move 1, maybe in this direction even. No, let's go this way. Because we have move and deploy, right? So now we'll take our spearmen. We'll deploy them out. And then he can actually move, right? So we have this guy here. So we'll actually scoot this guy in. It's got a galley, so we do have to be careful of that. And we have to remember we can't heal, right? Scoot this guy this way and try to swing around to the other side, and then we'll get our archers in place. Although, is this a vegetated tile? I don't think it counts as vegetated. And then I actually want my commander to move one, right? And we might have to... This archer's not going to be in range particularly, right? So let's go ahead and fire away. That'll at least get us, again, some more experience. And we'll try to get this archer in range too. We'll have to scoot everyone down in this next turn, but I think that's going to be okay. However, I do need him to not heal. So I'm going to have him build fortifications instead of attempt to heal. Everyone else should be good and not trying to heal there. This guy's swinging back in case we want any reinforcements. And we have spent all of our gold. We have saved up to 200 influence, though, so that's a good sign. And we're at 90%. So we have to hope, man, where are we going to get hit by our next plague, though? If one of our cities is about to get hit by a plague, I am sure of it. I'm going to speak it into existence. Oh, not this turn, though. Okay, we are one turn from Colossus. Library has been completed by yet another person, so a lot of people completing library milestones. This guy's just hanging out. And then we get to come back down here. I'm gonna go, let's move again. We'll search from this tile. So we got lots of potential here. So I want to move this guy over here. We actually, what we should do is actually pack this archer and pack this archer and then unpack them both, right? On this tile and on this tile respectively. And then they should both be able to shoot. Getting us more experience. Our commander is going to fortify so he doesn't damage himself. This guy's going to fortify so he doesn't damage himself. And then we're just going to keep shooting this guy until there's no one there. And then honestly, I think we're just going to sit right here. Probably like switching back and forth places so that we don't heal. All right, turn 126 has concluded. 267, does that get us enough? I think it does actually. Yeah, can we buy in? We can. We could buy in the garden. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to buy the garden in right here. Beauty. We like that. That is good. That's another 7 food. We'll grow Ohatu. Although, again, Ohatu's growth is not as important anymore, but we might as well grow as much as we can. Probably start putting more fisheries down. So we don't want those Hawilts necessarily. And then, should we have also made this an urban center? If we urban center this, we don't have the gold right now, but if we urban center this, and then we could have had it growing faster potentially, right? Like what we did with Lollibella. Like if we get we put the garden in and stuff like because the garden at least gets you more food. That could have been something we did, is just urban centered everything, but then always switch it back, right? If we would always switch it back to the growing town focus after we buy in a building. Let's see if we get Colossus.
He doth bestride the narrow world, and we petty men walk under his huge legs, and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves.
It's an intense quote. And here is Colossus. Right in the bay. That is, and it's facing the right direction and everything, greeting everyone as they come into our city. And the best part is that this city is likely at 25 population. Oh, it's going to be close. Ohatu's going to be close to it. It's likely going to be our new capital in the next era. And so it's going to have this intimidating Colossus greeting people as they come into its port. Ada Lovelace finished Pyramid of the Sun, so Pyramid of the Sun is off the table. Pyramid of the Sun would have been nice, I think, because... no, which one is... There's one of them that's got a food tied to it that would have been nice, but it's okay. Let's get this one done just in case we need it. We got our celebration. We're going to take that 20% food for 10 turns for sure. That is good. And we have a new policy card we can put in. What do we want? 15% gold in cities adjacent to coast. 1 gold for every imported resource. We're importing quite a few. I mentioned this, I think, before, but there is a mod that allows you to see the actual outcomes of each of these without having to go do any calculations yourself, which is pretty huge. it would be able to tell us which of these is the better option for us in this particular instance. 1 gold for each imported resource, or 10% gold for cities adjacent to coast. You know, I don't think I have hardly any cities adjacent to coast, to be honest. 1 gold for each imported resource feels pretty good. We're at 262. We go to 289, so not a bad one at all, as we are importing quite a few resources that'll boost up our gold. We have a leader attribute point. That feels pretty good. We got an economic. That was from building, specifically, that is from building the Colossus. Let's see. We have palace and city halls. We have gold per trade route. We do have quite a few masteries right now, but that's going to go away. 15% gold towards purchasing in all settlements. Actually, that's huge for us. So we should have probably grabbed this before we started buying anything. We should have maybe waited and bought stuff afterwards. We just purchased a ton of stuff. Could have gotten 15% off on all of that. But that's fine. We should also get another +1 gold for every imported resource. But I think this 15% discount is very nice, especially heading into the next age. So let's grab that. Kalo can potentially build. So no, they can't build Nalanda. What does Nalanda require? We may have to find a spot to build Nalanda if we want to take a crack at it. They still have their villa to build in. And in fact, we already kind of picked a spot for that villa, right? The only adjacency spot we have within this city for the villa is going to be next to a wonder. So we might as well just put it right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, we could put in our lighthouse would be very nice. We'll be able to build both of these in though. So let's go villa. We're going to put it here. Stick it over there. Get at least some adjacency for it. Oh, Kalo has the ability to slap all these in. That's beautiful. Honestly, we should almost switch our jade over here and just take the rest of the gold. But I mean, it's fine. We're getting jade in both. We have a Howilt. Oh, that's a +3 Howilt. Okay, I thought we had a Howilt here that was now good. Okay, so there's a Howilt that we need to buy in. The market we could just build here, to be honest. I'm not too worried about that. Need to displace anything. Oh, do we? Matara, can we displace any, like, Howilts that are not awesome? This one's on a really nice tile, so we could probably leave it. Although any additional growth in Matara is going to be huge, right? So the question becomes, do we switch its focus on the next turn and then buy in some extra food to try to push growth over the course of the last little bit here? We'll think about it. We will think about it. Let's do the search feature here. We'll get a little extra view, and then we'll just do some shots. And then we don't want to heal. So we gotta do this maneuver. You guys switch sides. Oh, they didn't finish their fortifications though. Didn't I have them fortifying? Did they not build those? Oh, we should have just had them fortify again. I don't think they would have healed. I guess we could have just found out. This commander should still be fortifying because I don't see... He shouldn't try to heal because he's still building his fortifications. Supposedly. Supposedly. Okay, let's do one more turn in this episode. Oh, our boat got out here. Nice. Let's go this way first. Final turn of the episode. Let's do it. We're gonna be very close to moving up on the next episode, I think, eh? Okay, this is probably our next best bet right here. We go here and then like we start moving out here to surround. Yeah. Let's grab that tile. Then we can buy a Howilt. That is a +6 culture Howilt. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. All right, Axum, I'm just gonna continue. Man, so they're our only option for building Nalanda. Kalo can't build it. Why is that? It requires a plains tile. Kalo has no plains because they're up in Grasslandville. Lalibela is not a city, so Lalibela can't do it. Ohuatu has only tropical tiles. Nalanda's a potent wonder, but I guess we're just gonna have to not do that. Which means we're going research initiative to try to push research, right? We're gonna try to get that as far as we can. Our next turn actually is gonna be a big one because we're gonna actually be able to do got new techs, new all kinds of things on the next one. All right, so we've explored everywhere around here. That's as far as we can get vision. And we've also, we can go out here. That'll get us like, I think we can see into these tiles, but that's not going to change anything for us. This scout, I think what we should do is, yeah, let's like cross over to here. And we'll just bust up all the fog here. Might even try to, well, we can't get him through Ada's territory, right? So, all right, let's get a few more shots in. There's a shot. There's a shot. More experience for our commander. Okay, they have no unit now, although we could shoot this galley if it were to move up. I'd love for this galley to scoot it up here so we could shoot it with our archers. Maybe it will. We'll find out. Also, oh man, this... We kind of have to move on to this tile because we don't want him to be able to clear it, right? So we have to come stand on it. And now we either have to choose to destroy it or protect it. This guy's going to fortify. This guy already fortified, so we're going to have to burn his movement somehow. So let's move him here. That guy's shot, so he's good. I don't want to burn it down if Shamron's going to get burnt down. And I'm very, very convinced Shamron is potentially going to get burnt down. This guy shouldn't heal because I burned some of his movement. We're going to skip. We're going to hold on making that decision until the next episode. Oh, I pressed the next turn button. Okay, good. There was a unit. Oh, that was funny. There's Bach. There's the capital. So now we've actually seen the capital of Napoleon. And I believe that will leave us at our final turn of this episode. We are chugging along. 183 progress out of 200. No additional bonus progress made as of yet. So 8 of 12 for Pack. So we're expecting 5 turns at least to get shaved off of that. It's looking like no one is going to finish Ancient Wonders of the World. It looks like, because I'm the one who could finish it and I don't have a tile to put down Nalanda. I just don't have a tile to put it down. That will be all decisions we will need to make in the next episode. Thank you for joining me. If you like the content, hit that thumbs up button. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel as well so you know when we release these videos. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week.